Hello, and welcome to my baby stream. It is I, Ellie, aka Keebnu. I think this is set up correctly. Well, hello, we got Iwanu, the cutie is here early. How's the cutie life? Today, well, Monday I was supposed to stream, but I wasn't feeling in the mood, I was mad. So I decided to move my weekly keyboard stream till today. I should be working. What are you talking about? You are working. I don't know any different. That's what I'm talking about. I want to, the true homie. Yeah, so today, I have a keyboard that I've been meaning to build for a while. I haven't built it yet. So we'll be unboxing it, even though there's not a box, it's in a bag. And then, I wanted to create a split spacebar version of the PCB. So I thought, because I've been learning like PCB design lately, so I thought this would be like a good opportunity to not show off, but like show what the process is and kind of explain what's going on, because I feel like PCB design is kind of intimidating when you first start, but I found it to be very helpful in terms of like knowing how to debug stuff, but also to write firmware, so QMK. So what I want to do is go from the beginning, starting today. We'll take a look at the existing PCB, create a schematic with all of the components that we'll need for the PCB, create the layout of it, work on like plate design, and then ultimately send the files out for prototypes and write the firmware for it so it'll be working. So that is my goals. Who knows how long this is gonna take. But I figured let's just do it together, you know? Friendship. So let me get my board. Also, behold. Gosh, can you hear me now? It must have reset all of my Okay, something happened. My NVIDIA thing that usually like does the noise removal decided it also did not want to work anymore. What is going on? Okay, but I think you can hear me now, from what I can tell. You know, if stream worked perfectly, then we know that we're not actually baby stream, so this is the true sign. Okay, I'm gonna turn my light down a little bit because I don't really need it today. Anyways, I switched out the keycaps on my keyboard, but what I did was I put on one half is PBT Tarot and the other half is GMK Tarot. Can you tell which is which? I'll put it like this so the light is even-ish. It's a pretty dang close match. But I know the truth. Left side's PBT. You're right, Avenue. So the left side is the PBT tarot. And the right side is GMK tarot. So yeah, you can really tell in this view the color difference, at least to me. The caps lock is the door. Dang it! That's true, because the GMK one just says caps, but to me you can really tell there's an echo. Oh no. Hold on. Let me see. Okay, how about now? I think that should fix it. It's like my microphone decided to die, and then it was like, you thought I'm gonna come back to life, and you're not even gonna know it. Okay, sweet. Thank you. So yeah, you can... I like having it side by side though, because you can really kind of like tell the difference between them. It's trying harder now. We're catching up, but you can really tell the difference in like this one's is a little bit lighter, more cool color of purple, and this one is definitely a more warm tone. But I still am really happy with the PBT version though. I think for me, I don't know why, but it's like I feel like less nervous about typing on the PBT caps because I'm like I'm not super big into the shine of GMK caps. So the PBT, there's less like I feel like it doesn't really matter if I mess it up or something, because it was only like 90 bucks or something. So this is the board we're looking at today. I picked up this keyboard from DDD Klein. I think it unplugged my, like it reset my keyboard too. Okay, so this is the board we're gonna be working on. It's called the Garbage Truck. So I bought this from DD like a while ago. It came in a box, but I used the box to ship out another keyboard for Cubespace. So I put it inside a bag. But yeah, if you're not familiar with this keyboard, it's kind of like, it's a 40 with a numpad. Let me pull up the picture. Or I guess we'll be seeing it. Never mind. So this is the plate. So it's a 40% on this side with the arrow keys, an encoder, and then a numpad, like a baby numpad on this side. So this is the plate. This is the PCB. So we'll be taking a close look at this. Oh, what's up, Rufio? How you doing? You missed it. All my audio decided it wanted to restart on me. Hello, Trades. We're working on the garbage truck today. So this is the back of the PCB. So we'll be taking closer looks at this. Oh, hey, McFix and Chill. Hey, Tanya. Yeah, so we are going to do some PCB designing. I want to make an alternate layout version of this PCB. So we're going to... I've never, like, taken an existing board and created my own, like, with a different layout. So I wanted to take a stab at it and try it out. And I figured this was the perfect board because I feel like for me, if I'm using layers, I need like... Oh, my puzzle pint's still on. If I'm using layers... Garbage truck. For me, if I'm using layers, I like to put my layer key on the left spacebar because I'm lazy to move my other fingers. So let me turn that off. Okay. So what I want to do is, oh, what's up, Pepsi? Hey, man, a lot of cut. So what I want to do is, this PCB doesn't come with a split space option. It has two different 7U options and then a 6.25U. So I want to make a PCB that has split space. And someone had also recommended doing a 2U backspace in this position. So we'll see what we can fit. And go from there. For sure, I want split space. That's all I need. But it comes with some, like, I think these are cork bump-ons. And it also has a rotary encoder, so it comes with the knob. It's pretty. It's like a nice silver knob. That's the bottom side. I haven't really used rotary encoders before, so that was another reason why I was like looking at this board with one eye, like, so this is the top half of the case. So you can see the rotary encoder. There's the spots for 3 LEDs. I don't know if I want to keep the LEDs or not. I'm undecided. And then I think it just mounts in the top here. Oh no, it goes in here. I don't know anything about keyboards. Alright, so that's the top half. Oh, there's more stuff. So this one has more screws, the rotary encoder, and then a cable. I believe this PCB, I don't know if it has ESD protection, I'll have to look at it, but that's what this is for in place of it. A grounding wire to screw into the case. And then let's take a look at the bottom. Alright, so this is where I think it's gonna get tricky because there's specific cutouts in the bottom. So this might be an issue actually. Because actually there's machined. Dang it, is this why nobody's done this yet? My plans are ruined. Because there's gonna be clearance issues, I think. Since the case is machined for each switch to fit here. Oh, hey, Static! Well, if my plans are ruined, then we can start on Static's project instead. Because I'm thinking... I wonder if we could screw it together and take a look. So I'm assuming it's like sits like this. And since the positions are machined out of the bottom, there might still be room since it worked for Gorthage. Oh, okay, well, yeah, we can take a look at that one. Let's see what happens. Cause yeah, what Iwan is talking about is there's the ortho version. This one. Pull it up. I mean, either way, I think it's a good exercise because I'm trying to just practice and learn. So this is the ortho version. It does have the 3U. I'm wondering if the 3Us are here because of the spaces on here. Cause, well, I guess I'm curious because what I'm thinking is maybe the overlap from the where the stab holes sit is why it's like that. But if there's a 10U, then it might be fine. Hello, AR Maestro 83. What's up? Yeah, I'm tempted. Do you think it would be a good idea to we could put some switches in just to see where they sit and like assemble the case? I need to sleep, have fun. Thanks, Trades. Have a good sleep. No, we're getting hacked. How dare you? Rude. Let me see. I have some switches. I have many switches. Because I'm wondering, I want to kind of see like how much space is there between some of these switch positions. And also, based on the KLE, curious, because the original one, let me pull up. Okay. So the original one was this one. So it has the 6.25 and then 2 7U options. I'm curious if, I mean, it has to be able to have clearance, right? Because if there was a 3U here, there's no other layout that has this here. Well, I guess the 7, no, because how far across are 7U stabs? That's a good question. We should work this out. Well, let's still do it just for practice, and then we can see if we can overcome the stabs issues, because if anything, we at least know that the 2 3Us will work, because it's the PCB. Oh, it says PCB mount stabs, because each set of 3. Oh no, that's never mind. That's for the other option. It's confusing. It's confusing. It's okay. We'll work it out. Alright, well, anyways, what I'm gonna do is we're going to make a schematic first. So we're using a program called KiCad. I've already made a project, so I'm calling this the garbage bag. Because I don't know, it's the garbage truck, so it goes in the garbage truck. So first, what we do when you create a new KiCad project, it has 2 files. One is called, this is the schematic view, and this is like the PCB editor. So we'll open this up first, and basically what the schematic is it's like a roadmap for like all of the components that you need. Someone's trash is someone else's treasure. Absolutely. So basically the schematic is kind of like a map that shows all the components that we need and how they're connected together without actually knowing like their physical placement. So this is like how they're electrically connected. So on the right, I'm going to add a symbol, and there's some libraries available. I use the AutoCAD, but for PCB designs. I think so. I've never used AutoCAD before, but yeah, this one is for like PCBs and other crap. So AIO3 has like a library of like symbols and footprints you can use for specifically designed for keyboard stuff. So we're gonna use one called MX No LED. So this, if we were gonna use like an in switch LED. We would use this one that gives us access to like the stuff we need to like hook up all the LEDs together, but we don't want LED because we're lazy. So I'm just gonna put one here so you can see what it looks like. AutoCAD, you need to put in math formulas and stuff and measurements. Oh, okay, so this one's not so much, I think, because this one's like two-dimensional. So, but yeah, like you can like input measurements and stuff, but I don't think it's maybe as intense as that. Alright, so this represents like one switch in our switch matrix. So you're probably familiar with like rows and columns on the keyboard. So say I have like a macro pad of like 3 switches by 3 switches or something. I would have like one of these representing each of the switches in my macro pad. And we can connect them together using wire, which is this little line. And if we were to just connect it like this, you can kind of think of it like in a geometry class. I don't know if you ever had to like plot out a graph. So this would be like, this is like column 0, row 0. Also with programming and like with switch matrix stuff, everything starts at 0 instead of 1. So that might get confusing. So this would be like column 0, row 0, column 1, row 0, column 2, row 0, and then it keeps going down. In the way that the electrical matrix works, if we were to just leave it like this, there could be issues if you press different keys together, just because of how the electricity flows. So to prevent that, what we do is we'll add diodes, and basically it like interrupts the flow of electricity, I guess you could say. And I don't know like all of the details, but I just know that you connect one to every row pin. And you can share, like if there's like shared, oops. Where's my delete key on this board? There you go. If there's like shared positions in the matrix, you can share a diode between switches. But in this case, we'll do that for sure for like the bottom row. But for everything else, you don't really need it. I'm gonna make this smaller because it's too big for me. Put it like that. And this is just labeling our diodes, but I get annoyed when it's like in the way. Hello, Sultan of Sleep. So this right here represents a single switch and its associated diode. So this little symbol is the diode, this the switch. So if we look at our PCB, or actually I have a KLE for this. I mean, this is what my dream would be for layouts. Hello, Lux Cables! I'd like an 1800 PCB design, please. Hit me up. I'm baby, but we're trying. Alright, let me pull up my KLE. So this is the KLE I was hoping to do. We'll find out if this is possible based on like the case and clearances. But if you look, if we look on here, you know, like our board has 4 rows, and when we go across, you can actually, well, we would count these each as like columns. So this will be like one. This will be like column 0 here, and column 1. So I'm just gonna count across roughly, and then we'll go back in and adjust the number of columns that we need, but for sure we need 4 rows. And then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and I guess 17. So we have 17 columns. And we could probably oh my gosh, my cat is going wild back there. We could probably do what's called a multiplex and like double up on columns, but I think we'll be okay in terms of number of pins we need. So we'll just keep duplicating this. 2, 4, Winnie. Winnie is like scratching my boxes back there. I think this is 16. Do one more. Okay. So, and then we need 4 rows of this. And we can like organize this a little better to kind of know like where our numpad is, but generally this is about what we need. Let me pull up. Sorry, I did that without you. So this is about what we need in terms of number of switches and diodes. So we could actually pull this side out. So we could kind of like estimate, you know, this is our numpad. We got our arrow cluster. Just for now, and then we'll go in and adjust. But it is a baby size board. Yeah, the garbage truck is interesting. Is an interesting layout. I kind of liked the fact I'm too lazy to like give up my arrow keys at this point in my life. So I was like, I'm just gonna we'll try 40s but not commit that hard. Alright, so I'm gonna create columns here and start labeling my switches. This is just for so I know what everything is. So we got our tab, our Q. I think I could do this too from like, is it this one? No. There's another view you can use to do this too, but we're just gonna do it like this. 1800 FRO to the next level. Yeah. This is like, are you sure you want extra rows? Nah, dude. We don't need it. And then we have 2 bracket keys. We'll just do this. And we actually don't need this one. I'm just gonna delete that. Okay, then this one would be, I guess this would be like caps lock. Do any of you in chat use 40s on the regular? I feel like this is my year of trying out 40 keyboards. I'm just waiting on some to be delivered. Piment Logica is like, yes! You're hyped for 40s. That's been my plan, is to try out Ortho 40. Oh, that's a good idea. When I first started in keyboards, one of my first boards was the Plaid. I think you said you have a Plaid, right? Yeah, you said it's not working right now, Sage. Okay, let's get rid of this one. Being such a butt. Archduchess is 40s only. Nice. Guess we'll do this too. Just realizing that this numpad is small. Oh, I'm missing. Am I missing a row? Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm done. Okay, let's move the. There we go. That's better. These guys. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay. Small borbs for life. Heck yeah, Kukurovaka. Would you be willing to fix it for me? Oh yeah. Yeah, feel free to hit me up in Discord. I'm more than happy to fix people's keyboards, especially through-hole keyboards. Those are my favorite. All this, like, I don't know what key it would be. I'm just gonna put return 0. So right now I'm just labeling all the positions of the switches, or it'll make my life easier later. So this one would be left shift, then V, X, I'm curious how much of this I can get done today. Okay, so then our bottom row, okay, I'm debating which one I should do as the default. I guess we'll start with the one of the existing layouts, which is the 2 1.25s, and then there's a 7U space, and then the right 1.25s, and we'll work from that. So we need 1, 2, 3, 5 switches. So we can get rid of these. I'm not gonna like fully commit these to being a specific column yet, just because the position of where the like actual physical switch sits plays a big role in like the where you put it in the electrical matrix. Just in terms of like ease of like routing it places. Okay. So let's just do like these. And basically this green line that I'm drawing between each of these pins, so each of these represents the column that's connected together. Have you designed a PCB before? Sounds like you have. So I've been learning pretty recently. And actually I did design one that I had prototyped, and I have it here and it works, but it's crazy. Hold on, let me see. So I designed this one that I am calling the Chaos Pad because it is crazy. It has many layout options, which I will not explain to you, and I think I'm just gonna send it to people and not tell them what the layouts are. But this is the back. I drew this on my iPad, and then I had these produced. So yeah, they work. But yeah, I had 10 of them made. I don't think I'm gonna like mass produce them or anything. It was just oh yeah, the holes in the eyes. Yeah, I tried to like use the holes that are on the PCB to like around the design. So he's talking about this one. So yeah, I tried to use the holes that were there to kind of like create designs, but it's pretty fun. But yeah, I've been working on a couple different little PCB projects. I have a couple that are ready to get made. I just need to submit the order. So yeah, I definitely feel a lot more comfortable now doing it, which is why I wanted to try this. And see what I can do. Small board with big options, yeah. Lots of options. Yeah, part of that was like me and Panda were just trolling and just like trying to figure out something stupid. And then part of it too was like practicing how to do alternate layouts, and like I was like, why not? This is not like this is a serious project. Over. Yeah, let me pull this back up. So yeah, we're just connecting the columns pretty roughly. We can always come back and change this stuff. It's meant to be a fun hobby. Exactly. That's why like I get annoyed when people take things a little too seriously when it comes to keyboard stuff. I'm like, we're literally making like stuff to type on. It's fine. But like this one I might actually do like that. These over slightly. Hey, what's up, Bert? We're working on a PCB. We're designing a keyboard. Well, not a keyboard, but we're designing an alternate whoops. We're designing a PCB I can use in an existing keyboard, which is something I haven't done before, so we're gonna see if it works. But how are you doing? Also, happy belated birthday to Bert. Also, happy birthday to Lovecraft. It's her birthday. Oh hey, what's up, Gnarly Charlie? We're working on some things. Okay, so let me do. We're gonna call this left control 1.25. Left alt 1.25. I like to include the size of the cap if it's over 1U. Because that'll make our life easier in a second. So this is a spacebar 7U. Right alt 1.25. Right alt 1.25. Okay. You know what I'm thinking? None pizza at left control. Exactly, perfect. What I'm thinking is, because I noticed Gnarly Charlie in the on the case, the positions for the switches are like machined out. So I'm curious about clearance issues with certain layouts. I figured this one is an existing layout, so there shouldn't be any problems. But I'm just curious about the other ones. I'm assuming the 3U that they had on the what is it called, Gorthage or something? that one would work. So this is what I'm talking about, is these layout options here, the 3U one. It's slightly different than what I had in mind, but I'm curious if it would still work. Yeah, the ortho version clears. So worst case scenario, I think if I can't get my like bougie one, we can just use this. But what I think I'm gonna do, I think what I'll do is I'll create the existing layouts so I know where the stab holes sit in terms of like where the PCB is, and then I can like overlay the other options and we can see if it'll line up correctly or not. Because if I can use the existing like hole positions, then it should be fine. But either way, if it didn't fit, like, I think it would be okay because it's just additional holes on the PCB, right? Like, I don't know. I'm just thinking. Because yeah, this is the 3U split option that they have for the ortho version. So I'm assuming this might fit like the existing spaces for the 6.25 spacebar. Because this is the options for the 6.25, which yeah, I'm thinking that might be why it worked. We'll find out. I figure if anything, I could just make the proto PCBs with the options I want, and then we'll worry about it fitting later. Well, we can test it. Because I know for sure that this one is one of the ones I wanted, and that one for sure fits. So worst case scenario, I just have to do the 7U, which would be sad, but actually no. How can we do this? Because this will be this is 2.5 plus 1. I don't like it because it's ugly, but maybe we do need to do this. Because my preferred layout, so these are my layout options that I would love. Maybe the 2.75 would work. We'll find out. But what I wanted was, I'm calling this Baby Sangan because it's like a 1.25 instead of a 1.5 and then a 1 and a 1.25. It's Bebe spelled B-E-B-E too. So Bebe Sangan would be one of my preferred options, along with the 3U with the 1.5 mods. Kajata, any commission available? Holla at me in my Discord. Basically on the weekends is when I do keyboard stuff, so like, or do like PCB stuff. So yeah, I'm slowly practicing, learning. So I'm more than happy to help you. Just hit me up. But yeah, I kind of love Baby Sangan though. Which, I mean, Baby Sangan would, I think, fit here. Well, I guess the 3U cutout would be different. Well, I think it'll be easier to figure out once we get to like the placement stage of the switches. So we'll just continue our quest and we'll come back to it. Okay, so this is what our switch matrix looks like. We have our rows and then our columns. So what we should do is we're gonna add a label to each of these. So there's a little label thing. I'm just gonna do row 0 will be our first one. So you can see here, look at this organization. And then we'll just copy these and change the numbers. So with these little flags that you do is like, they kind of Because like we'll add like our oh whoops. We'll add like our controller, like our at mega chip later, and rather than having to like plug all these lines to that mega chip, which might not sit here or whatever, we can connect them together by using these little flags. It's really freaking cool, and I'm excited to show you guys. So, another one of these, and we're gonna change this to column. So COL is what I use for column. So yeah, we just keep doing this. The like labeling part of this is like so satisfying to me. I could do this all day, every day. You want some labels? I got you. Yeah, the way that this program works though is really freaking cool. Because basically, like, from this perspective, we're like establishing all the connections between like the different things that we physically want to be available. And then the program is smart enough to like check that the correct connections are correct when we move to the other stage. It's pretty freaking cool. Alright, so this is our PCB. She cute. Our next things we need to add, well, what I wanted to do, I wanted to be organization this time. Also friendship. Thank you for following. We're true friends now. This looks like science. Well, we're doing some PCB design. It's something I've been learning for the last couple of months. My friend Trade Spotter has been teaching me on the weekends. So I decided I wanted a split space version of the garbage truck. So if you look at, so this is the PCB that's existing. I want one that has a split space option. So I was like, wait, I can do PCBs? I was like, why don't I just try it, you know, see what happens. And actually the plate file is open, so that like makes it a lot easier, because when we get to like laying out all the switches, you can align them to the plate, and so that takes a lot of work away from us. But this is a cool PCB. I thought something I thought was interesting was how they lined up all the diodes like this. A lot of times you'll see diodes sitting like in this area, like underneath one of the pins, or in between each switch, but I thought it was kind of cool. They lined them all up. Yeah, I picked mine up off from Didi. Didi was selling theirs, and I was feeling extra that day. And I was like, I'll buy your keyboard. Because I definitely want to try more 40s this year. And I feel like this was a good kind of like starter 40, since it has the like a numpad and the arrow keys still. It's not as intimidating. So I thought this was a good option. But yeah, and then I was like looking at the layouts and I was like, man, I wish it had split space. So that's where we're at right now. That's why we're making PCB. So we have our switch matrix all laid out. This is just for the beginning. We can also always come back and make changes to this, which we probably will need to. So some other things we need. We're going, well, looking at their PCB. Oh, you know what? I forgot something. We need one more switch for the rotary encoder. So rotary encoders, they have both a switch as well as like the turning part, because you can click the encoder and it will register as a key press. So we need to add that somewhere. I'll just add it there. Encoder. And we'll add that to the schematic. Yeah, there's an encoder footprint too. Oh yeah, I wonder if I can just plug that in. We'll just say I did it one for for the chaos pad, my PCB. So actually I'll show you what it looks like. But yeah, there's the footprint for encoders looks like these. Well, this one is kind of like, this one has support for both a MX switch as well as the, like, this part. Yeah, on the schematic. I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, but this is what it would end up looking like well, without these two holes in the middle. If you're not familiar with what an encoder looks like. So I made 10 of them because I wanted to test out 2 different manufacturers. So let me see if we can find the encoder footprint. Oh yeah, here we go. Rotary encoder. Oh yeah, and so there's 2 different ones. This one is just the one that does the turny. So there's like, one of the pins is to ground and then the other 2 is to you define 2 different pins on the chip to handle the encoder, but this one is the one with the switch. So this would be both the turning bit as well as the pressing bit. Does that make sense? Look at her, she's beautiful. Okay, oops. I don't know if do we need a diode for that? I'm gonna just keep a diode around and we'll see what happens. We'll just put her over here. We'll hook this up later because I don't remember. I'm probably have to reference the one I have. But yeah, I made a total of 10 of the chaos pad. So I had 5 made from JLC PCB and then 5 made from Elecro, just to I wanted to see the difference between them, and also JLC PCB was vibing me and I was like getting really annoyed with them. Oh, see you later, Bert. Tune in. Yeah, I'll probably still be streaming because I'm about to get in the code zone, so I can never leave until I'm done. But yeah, so I wonder if you can rotate this. Which way do I like? But anyways, basically, for the rotary encoder, one of these pins goes to the column and one goes to the row. I don't think it matters which side goes to which. I kind of wish it was smaller though. It's okay, I still love it. We still love you, rotary encoder. JLC's only benefit is their cost. It can be so slow. It's true. So I think the cost was about half as much as Elecro. But yeah, they were like, this is like the series of events. So I submit the files and they're like, we can't drill the holes in these positions, or like they said something like, can we plate these or whatever, and I was like, no, you need to do it this way. And they were like, we can't do that, but can we do it this way? I'm like, sure, do it that way. And then they were like, no, we can't do that, can we do it the first way? And they said they got like upset because they were like, yes or no in like capital letters. So I responded. At this point I had already ordered through Elecro and they didn't give me any problems. And so with JLC PCB, I responded in my email with nothing else. I just put yes in capital letters, and then they started producing. I was like, what is wrong with you people? I was like, stop vibing me. This is ridiculous. Okay, so the things we need. We're gonna need our microcontroller. I'm gonna make some little labels so I remember. We're gonna need the USB port. We're gonna need the crystal. The dark crystal. We're gonna need reset. I don't know if we need a button, but I think we should put pad. And then I think we'll need to put, well, the fuse we can add to the USB port. Oh, I was curious. Okay, let me know what you think. I know that, like, well, this PCB uses a ground wire to connect to the case. So it's this one here, so the shield. You solder the wire to this, and then you screw in the wire to the case to basically ground the PCB to the metal. How do we feel about just doing like a ESD protection chip thingy? Because it'll work, but I feel like if I could just slap it on the PCB, then it's kind of a rabbit hole of a question, right? And also, does it matter, like, would it be bad to have double protection, I guess? Like, can you do both? Or would it be mad? ESD protection is a mystery. You're right, you're right. I don't know. Let's think about it. I'm gonna add it to the list, and then we can figure out how we're feeling. Okay. The other thing too I was curious about was like, if you're using daughter boards, which this one doesn't use a daughter board, but I was curious, like, some people like I know that the universal daughter board I think has ESD protection built on it, but not all daughter boards do. So is it expected to also have ESD protection on the PCB side that's separate from the daughter board? I was thinking about this the other day for a different board. Fine doing both or opting only for... Oh, okay. Okay, we'll add it just because I'm paranoid. There's 3 LEDs we need to add. We can also do a pinout for... So if you... if you see on this one... Oops, that's wrong. There's pins for ground, VCC, STL, and SDA. So I think I'll create pins for that too. Might as well. And I think that he exposed this E6 pin for like a RGB encoder module or something. I don't know if I am that motivated to do that, but kind of cool. We'll call this like breakout pins or something. Okay, I think that's everything we need from the PCB for now. We will add additional layout options later. But I think... Oh, you know what? We need our power filtration. I like to call it capacitate yourself. I'm stupid. What are these tunes? Oh, this is these are free. It's the Stream Beats chiptune playlist. It's on Spotify. Let me see if I can find it. Stream Beats. Yeah, Stream Beats. It's free to use on stream, which is awesome. And I kind of rotate through their different playlists, but this one is called Chiptune. And you can either download the files, I think, or it's available on a couple of different streaming platforms. It's like Kids Pop for streamers. Exactly, Double Day. Exactly. We're trying not to get DMCA'd out in these streets. Alright. So, let's get our controller. This one uses the Atmega 32U4MU. We'll probably just use the same thing. Okay, so we're gonna get a symbol and we're gonna type in Atmega 32. So the chip that you choose depends on like your needs, obviously, but also like availability is important, especially with the chip shortages lately. So this could change, but for now we'll just use this. I'll probably just strap it here for now. So that's our microcontroller. We'll put that over here. We got labels, baby. Look at us. We're queens. I'll put like there. Oh, hey, Exo Squid. It's going good. We're working on a PCB design. So we're doing technical things, which is, you know, I'm trying to like branch out my streams because, you know, we don't got keyboards every week to build. So this is something very keyboard adjacent in terms of content. So I figured, and plus too, I do a lot of programming for work. So I was like, and especially with like when we did Girls Who Code or Black Girls Code for Cubeness, I was like, I should show some more coding on my stream. I feel an obligation. We gotta show some diversity in the coding sphere. So this is one part of it. We're doing the hardware side and we'll eventually get to the software side. But basically this is our switch matrix. Each of these little squares represents a switch. And each of these little triangles is a diode. And we just added our microcontroller. So this represents an Atmega chip. And we'll be adding our little connections here to each of these pins. So if you've ever like looked at QMK code, in the config.h file is where they define like each of the pins that is connected to your switch matrix. So you'll basically you can just like ignore the P before each of these. So this would be like B0, B1, B2. And these pins are how you define like what your matrix looks like in QMK. So yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, we'll add our little flags to this later. We also need our dark crystal. So the crystal, or actually the USB port we'll do first. USB. We're gonna use a USB 2.0. I looked at yeah, so this is called like a PCB schematic. And basically what it is it's like a roadmap for like all of the things that you need for your PCB. You define them here first using these little symbols, and you create the connections between them using different labels and things. And then the program is able to translate all of these symbols into like physical like objects later on when we move to the PCB editor. So we're just like creating our plan now, and then we'll come back and do some fun stuff later. Okay, I think I use... I think these are the same type of thing. I'm gonna do this one. So this one here, this symbol represents our USB port. I'll just drop it like over here for now. So basically we connect like all the different things like power and ground and everything to this. The D minus D plus are like our data lines, I believe. And then, yeah. So that's our USB port. We got it. We also need a crystal. So the crystal, I call it the dark crystal. Let's change this actually, because I don't feel like I'm myself. I always label it the dark crystal. But basically, what it does on the PCB is control like the timing, I believe. It's called like an oscillating crystal. Crystal. We'll just use, I think just the regular is fine. And so like to find out all this information of like the things that you need for like in that mega chip to work, if you click on it and hit E, there's this thing here that says data sheet, and if we open that up, it will give us like the documentation for like a chip, which is very confusing looking, and it looks complex, and it is complex. But basically this document is like a PDF. It will contain like all the information you need for like hooking up that chip. And I usually kind of just like scan through the, well, TradeSpotter showed me like kind of how to read these, but a lot of this is information that I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But usually you look for diagrams of like schematics and like where pins are connected to what pins. Stuff that looks kind of like the, because basically the crystal, it needs to connect to two capacitors to like regulate the power, I think. I know what it is, but I don't remember the values off the top of my head, because there's like different values you define for each of these. I'll probably just reference another one I did. It's ridiculous. I wonder if there's like a table of contents. I probably skipped it. Oh yeah, so like this is like the physical like layout of like a NAT mega chip, and you can see how like it has these like letters around the edges. See how it says like PB0, PB1, PB2, PB3? So these like physical legs of the chip are what are connected to like, is what these represent. You have B0, B1, B2. But I'm trying to find, there's a page where like talks about the hookup. I think it's towards the end. I don't know. We'll come back to this. All I know is that the crystal requires, it's connected to these two pins here, the X-Tall1, X-Tall2. And there's two capacitors that it needs. So we'll just add the capacitors. So the symbol I use is just C small. I do not envy PCB designers. Honestly, I've been having a ton of fun doing this. Like, it's such a like nerdy thingy, but I've had a lot of fun because I think because I come from like the software background, learning about like the actual hardware that's being powered by the software you write has been really interesting for me. And also, I'm kind of annoyed because I wish I would have learned about this earlier. Alright, so the next things we need are the reset button. So we'll just add, this one doesn't really matter, you just put like a switch. I wonder if it would be under SW. Yeah, we could just use like, here, a push. Let's do, I like the look of this one. So for the reset button, basically it will require a 10K resistor. And the symbol for resistor is R small. So it will need that. I'm just gonna put the value here. So yeah, like this little square is a resistor. This little one with the lines is a capacitor. I don't really know the difference between them from like a technical level, but I know where they go. So that's important. So those are the things we need for our reset. We'll come back and hook them all together. ESD protection. We'll need, oh, what the heck is it called again? There was one I was using. Was it this? No. I have to look this one up because I don't remember. ESD, we'll put you over here for now. The LEDs we're gonna need, well, we'll need the footprint for them for the little holes, but we'll also need a resistor for each, I believe. So we're gonna, yeah. So we can just do, I think it's like the connector, what was it again? Connector, oh here, connector 1x, we'll just do the 1x2. Wait, is there one? Also, I loaded up, Kivio has like a list of footprints and parts and stuff that they have like available for people to use. If they have an LED hole, that would make my life easier. I just want the LED. Not an RGB though, it's just the, well, I guess we could use the other one and then just change the footprint. Basically, I'm looking for a symbol that will have two holes or like two connections. We'll just do this for now. I don't know if there's a better way. And we'll need also a resistor, HDMI jack, alright. Okay, we'll put one for you. But yeah, basically for each LED, it will have its own resistor. And we can look up the values later, but there's 3 LEDs total. We'll just put that there. The breakout pins, so the ones that are on here, oh hello ukulele Dan, what's up? The breakout pins, oh I can show you here actually. So the pins I'm talking about are these pins here. See, has the 6 LED holes, and if we look on the back, they have, each of them has a resistor here. So, but yeah, the next one we're gonna do is the breakout pins, so that would be these 4 here. So I just need a symbol that can represent them, and then we can go and change like what they look like on the physical side later. And know there's a circle and a square, but what's the difference? So physically there's no difference. It's just they represent, yeah, like positive and negative, and they just help you identify which is which. Okay, so these ones, so that's our connector for the breakout pin. And then capacitate yourself. So, so the power filtration, basically the mega chip needs like for every, it's like good practice for every like ground pin that there is, you should have a capacitor to filter the like the power to it or whatever. So I think we need a total of 3, maybe 4. I'm trying to remember. Well, we can reference something else and find out. But yeah. Oh, you know what? Let me open up the... I'm gonna cheat. You guys. So this was a small macro pad I worked. This was like one of the first ones I worked on. This one uses a different chip, but it's the same concept. So yeah, like for every one of these pins that's connected to 5 volts, which is like the power pin, you need a capacitor to go along with it. Oh, and here we go. This is an example of the crystal. So the crystal connects to these 2 pins, and then it's connected to the capacitor and goes out to ground. So I'm gonna just keep this over here so I can look smart. I feel like it's like with all coding though, like even this, it's like you reference like stuff you worked on before, or you're always Googling crap. But yeah, so for capacitors, we're gonna need 3, I think. Having a cheat sheet's always great. Hey, again. I'm very much here for cheat sheets. You do what you gotta do. That's all I gotta say. As long as it gets done. The keyboard is only truly grounded when the USB cable is buried in the ground next to you. Exactly. People just don't know. You just need that cable. You have to plug it into... Oh my god. That actually reminds me, there's... I think it's the back wall behind me is like has the original like electrical work from like when this house was built, because we built a 2nd story, and so when we did that, all the other electrical outlets were upgraded and were grounded, but the ones on like I think it's that wall are not grounded, and they're the original like old sockets, and so like they have the 2-prong like plug or whatever. Luckily there's nothing really connected except I think my little lamp, but it's like if those blow out I don't really care too much, but it's like it's crazy. Okay, so these pins here are all connected to 5 volts, which is our like our power coming in from the USB port. That there. Our reset pin, we want to add a flag to it so we can use it for our reset switch. So we're gonna put that here. We're also gonna add tags for these 2, just for organization. Basically what this is doing is, so like our crystal, for example, our crystal needs to be connected to these 2 pins here, and rather than having to like connect it like this, like running a wire all the way up here and like that, instead what we can do is we create the little flag. So xcall2, and I can copy this flag here and basically attach it at this level here. That's it. So the program will know now that this here is now connected to what's up here. because xtol2 is connected to xtol2. And that's how we know. I'm going to make this a little bit longer. But yeah, same thing with the xtol1. Put it here, and now our dark crystal is connected to the chip, but we still gotta connect the capacitors. I'm gonna make this smaller. Come back. Have you guys been watching anything interesting lately? I've been watching these videos about mushrooms and fungi, which are not plants. I feel like fungi are like alien. Alright, we got the dark crystal. He's ready. So basically this is the same as if we were to plug this in here. Like up here. But this just allows us to organization a little bit better. I'm just gonna put you down here, girl. Just hand over. Alright, so our USB port, I'm gonna cheat because I'm tired. Oh, I think this one is different than the one I'm using. Oh, is that the channel I'm thinking of? I've been watching a lot of like oh, hand tool rescue. Oh, are those the ones where they like buy like old Shh. There is a lot of icons on my desktop. This is my fun times computer. I only use it for playing games and for like keyboard stuff, so I don't really care what's on my desktop too much. Yeah, I love watching those videos though where they like buy the old like rusty tools and they restore them. They're so pretty. It also makes me wonder what those tools are used for, but then also I don't question it because it's freaking cool. So satisfying. Especially when they like peel paint off and stuff. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah? Yeah, I think I saw one where they were restoring like a really old like fire helmet, like a fire department helmet. And I saw one is restoring like a one of those like vice type of things where you like, yeah, those channels are so cool. I love it. All right, let's do, so the D plus and D minus, we need to add a resistor to each of these. Fractal vice, maybe. That sounds familiar. So I'm gonna move the labels underneath it because it annoys me when they overlap. I am extra. And I'm probably gonna make them a little smaller too. Okay. Alright. And then we're going to add some flags on here. So D plus. D minus. And then we're also gonna add a capacitor for this U cap thing. So all of this stuff is like defined by whatever chip that you're using. So you basically have to read the data sheet that's like for this particular chip and then figure, and it'll tell you like what the values for everything are. I'm very lazy and so I just go trade splitter, tell me what to do. Or I reference like stuff that I've already done. Because yeah, it's like, it's a lot. Alright, I think pretty much. Oh, we need to put these to ground. Maybe I'll move this to the side. Everyone move to the top. It's fine. We'll use ground. Okay, and then oh, here I can look up what the name of that ESD was. It's called SRV05. Okay. SRV. Oh, here you go. So this is the ESD protection thingy. Move you like down there for now. Oh yeah, so we can connect D minus to here and D plus to here. V bus I believe is the power, but we'll need to add some stuff to that. And then these ones we need third. That'll work. Like that. Actually, no. We'll go like that. Move. Okay. And then these go out to ground. These two also go out to ground. So the shield, and this is like talking about the outer part of the USB port. Like the actual like case of it is grounded. So yes. We also need to add, I believe, a power flag here. There. Yeah, that's fine. And then for this one, so the V bus is where the power is coming in from the USB port. We need to add a fuse on this to prevent bad stuff happening. Basically it helps protect our PCB. And I forget the kind of fuse. Polyfuse. I'm gonna make this a little smaller too. And we'll need one more power flag after this one, and it will go out to ground. Ta-da! So that's our USB port. So they're basically just hooking everything up together. I guess I could make this more smaller. I just don't know how I feel about like everything being so like crowded. That could be my user experience. Training coming into play. Like, look at that, it looks ugly. Maybe I'll move it up. These properly. There we go. Okay, so our USB port looks good. might be in that. There we go. We'll put you in the corner over here. And then the ESD protection. Forget the values for that. Oh yeah, it's D- and D+. So we're basically connecting like our data line to these, as well as our ground and coming through. Wait, I think I did this one. Yeah, this is not, shouldn't be ground. This should be 5 volt because that's where the power is coming from. Okay, so let me bring this over. These two pins aren't used. And that is our ESD protection. Now I'm gonna do, let's make it look nice with like an outline or something. I'll put you over there. Where is my line? So you can do like a little, kind of like organize your like components. You can like add little outlines and like labels. Might be a little bit too big, but whatever. Look at that organization, baby. Okay, we got our ESD protection. She cute. We love her. I'm gonna put this label though. Put it over there. Okay, we got our crystal. The dark crystal. Put our reset switch next. Alright. I'm sure this is very entertaining for all of you. But I promise the good part comes after this. Where we get to start like manifesting our PCB dreams. And so this one here, we're connecting, this is representing like a reset switch, or it could even just be two like pads that are connected to ground and reset. If you've ever used like a Pro Micro before, you know that to like get into bootloader mode or whatever, you need to hit ground and reset twice in order to get into bootloader mode. It's basically the equivalent of like hitting, you know those like reset buttons on your PCB? It might be an actual like physical button. This is the equivalent to that. And it looks crazy, but basically what's happening is the PCB like tries, it like watches for like when reset and ground are shorted together. And then there's a resistor here that I don't know exactly what it does electrically, but you need this for it to work. And I think it's to prevent anything crazy from happening. Okay. So let's do the, what do we want to do? Because we got the breakout pins. That would be, because SCL and SDA, I believe, are D plus and D minus. It's the same thing. Let me just double check. Might be a specific pin. I need to research this. I might add a note. What? SCL and SCA. I like to leave myself notes. I like things that aren't working or things that I think I need to figure out. We'll put our capacitor situation. Hey, what's up, Static? We're going to hook up our capacitors together. Look at them, they're so cute. And let's do this. Hey, see you later, Gnarly Charlie. I'll try not to do too much without you. Do the 5 volt over here. And then the ground will go here. So we're just connecting all our capacitors together. I believe their value is supposed to be 0.1 ETH. I don't know how to say that right. And then I think there is one. We draw a little box. The flux capacitor, exactly. That's all we're doing. We're gonna leave the LEDs and the breakout pins for later because I don't remember exactly the values I need for these. Well, yeah, we'll leave it for later, but I think we do need to define an LED pin. So I'm just gonna leave like a little flag so I remember. Let's put it there, and then I think that's it for now. Okay, so we've created the majority of our schematic. I need to also add the rotary encoder situation, but I think I'm gonna do that later because I'm lazy. So basically we have all these symbols. These symbols represent actual physical components that will be on our PCB, as well as the electrical connections between them. So now what we're gonna do is assign the physical footprints of what these things should look like in like a real world space. And we'll assign each of them to their respective things. So we're gonna first let's see, we're gonna fill in, this is called the schematic reference designators. What it does is it adds like a number to each of these. So you can see all of our switches now are numbered 1 through whatever. And then from here we can go to the footprint assignment tool. So what this does, it allows us to assign a footprint to each of these, so we can tell it exactly like what size switch should we be using for these, what size diode should we be using, and then it'll assign like the actual like footprint of what it looks like. So let's start with the switches. So these ones are all 1Us. So there's a in the MX only, there's a 1U footprint, and you can take a look at what it actually looks like. This is the 1U footprint, and there's ones with like I think the default one, it has the pads for like LED pin, or for LED. So there's different options. Let's see if I can fit this all on the screen. Okay. So the one we want, we're not going to be putting in switch LEDs. So you can see if we choose this one, it doesn't have those anymore. They also have ones for hot swap, flipped LED pins. But you can see like the different sizes of what the actual footprint of the switch should be. So we'll change this to 1Us. Let me check out my KLE. So this tab is also 1U. It's over here. The tab. So this is also why I decided to label them ahead of time, because I can see what's which which one goes to which. So this tab will be a 1U as well. Caps lock is a 1.25, so we'll choose this one. And then these ones are all 1Us. Our enter key is a 1.75. These are all 1Us. So I'm just making sure to choose the no LED version. The left shift is a 1.75. And then all of these are 1U. Our right shift is a 1.25. These are all 1U. And then I also, because I added the size, that makes it a little bit easier to the label. So this is the left control at 1.25. Do that. The 7U. Spacebars, there's also options to have the stabilizers flipped. I don't know if you can see that there. Yeah. We're gonna do this one, the flipped, the reverse stabilizer, no LED. Don't forget the 2.71U spacebars to fit the GMK bars that came out recently, right? Amazing. But yeah, if we look on the PCB, you can see these have the reversed one, so it has the larger hole on the top and then the smaller one on the bottom, which is what we want. Niche. I forget which. I think it was Moto round 2. I have it, and I don't think it was supposed to come with a 3U bar or something, or like it came with the bad 3U bar and they're gonna replace it. So I was like, so what you're saying is I have 2 3Us now. Even though I guess one is smaller than the other, but still, I got enough to do 2 3Us. I feel like that's kind of the cool kids layout right now. The 2 3U spacebar. What do you think? Okay. And Oh, you know what? Let me pull this up. This is my old project. I can't remember which footprint I went with for the USB port. Oh yeah, the HRO type. Okay. So the USB is under connector USB, and it's the receptacle HRO. It looks like that. Actually, the one that's used here is the through-hole kind. Do I solder the USBs on myself? I bet you I could, because they're like... Some say if you collect 2 3U bars, Gok shows up at your house and tells you he's ordering another 5 prototypes. Gok, come over to my house. That's funny. I'm wondering if I should use the through-hole one, because I'm not gonna get many of these made. I have experience soldering them, although it is a pain in the butthole. What do you think? Should we do the through-hole USB ports like what's on the original? Or do you think we do the SMD ones? Whoa, this is cool. Because I think this is the one that's on it right now, if you take a look. So this is like the type of USB port that you see on like any of the discipline kits. So it's through hole, and then you end up soldering these tiny baby pins. Anytime you don't have to solder those things is perfect. His preference. I personally don't mind it because I've had to do it so many times that like I've gotten used to it, but well, let's do the SMD one, and then if we change our mind we can change it later. Okay, rotary encoder switch. Oh, did I add that? I think it might be in the QVO parts actually. Oh yeah, here, rotary encoder EC111 or EC11 is the one. Okay. Oh, I did. I found another library of footprints for the rotary encoders, but I don't know the difference between them. They're just the... We want one of these ones. What's the difference between H20? Circular mounting holes. I guess I should try it, because this is the one I got for my what's it called? For the chaos pad. And I didn't think about I should probably make sure that those holes work. Where did I put? I recently ordered some rotary encoders, but I don't know where they went. Oh, you know what? I bet you I put them in the box. Yep. Look at me, organization. I'm still looking for a lower profile rotary encoder that clicks work DP. You know what? I saw... Whose stream was it? It was... Pika-T. You know Pika-T? He did the Finn and Gus keyboard, the cat one. He was streaming recently, and his solution for the Pika-T macro pad that he does was really interesting, because I don't know exactly which encoder he was using, but he had it where like, so like this is the regular rotary encoder that's like so tall. The one he had was lower, and the legs actually like were bent out to the side so it could sit even closer, I guess. It was interesting. But yeah, it was like, I know the bottom was green, but I don't know what kind of encoder it was. I have to take a look, because I think I clipped that part of his stream. I was asking him about it. Because this is the one that came with it. versus this is the normal one that you'll usually find. This is the one that came with the garbage truck for me. So it's definitely lower. Like it's slimmer. So maybe I can figure out what this one is. Or if it has any markings. It says Alps on it. I will join this quest for you, Iwanu, to find the lower profile rotary encoder. Okay, I think I use... I want to say I used this one. We're gonna use that one. And then for the pads, I'll just figure out which switch I want to do later because I'm lazy. But for the resistors, we'll just use the resistor SMD, and then the larger diode resistor size is the 0603. That missing ground fill. We haven't gotten to the ground fill part yet, but we're gonna get there. So the larger size is usually the 0603. Wait. What? Oh, the knob for yours is bulging right now? Oh, on the green PCB. Oh yeah, this one isn't mine. You're talking about this part here, right? I want more faces. Yeah, there's some on this side too. So you can see how there's a contrast in color. And they're talking about is these areas are missing what's called the ground fill, and it helps to ground the PCB. So usually you'll see holes to kind of get around this, or the traces will be designed in a way to prevent these areas from getting isolated from the rest of the PCB. Because ideally it would all be this color. Functionally it doesn't make much difference in those areas. Yeah, I think it's okay because... Yeah, I agree though. I definitely agree. You want to look pretty, look nice. I'm thinking I'll do the smaller ones for the resistors and the capacitors. And then whatever on the diode, because I don't care. We'll just use the smaller package. And then we'll use this one. Yeah, they are small. I just want to be extra, you know? I guess what's the average size would you say for the diode packages? Okay, we're just gonna do those for now. Well, but about the limit of what can be hand soldered without a microscope. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I figured these will be soldered by the factory, so I don't gotta deal with it. 0603 or 0805. Oh, okay. That's good to know. Alright, so this our stuff. I'm gonna do this crap later, but I just wanted to show what this ends up looking like when we switch to the PCB view. So if we open up this one, I need to use this 0402. Oh, interesting. I should write this down. Let me take notes. Let's figure out this. Yeah, I've been slowly learning more about PCB design and creating small projects. I am all here for learning more. Oh, you know what? Let me turn this on. And then I'm leaving notes for myself. Look up those LEDs, fool. Oh, 06. Oh, 0402 if you're extra. There we go. Okay, let's go to the PCB view. So now, not all of it's hooked up, and there's still some missing footprints, so I don't really care. What's gonna happen? So over here we have our schematic. This is like our map of all the things that we want. Now on this view is where we get to start laying things out and making things like physically be where they need to be. So I'm gonna hit this update PCB and it should import all our crap. There's gonna be some errors because not everything's done yet, but behold the mess. So I don't know why KiCad likes to do this, but it's basically these are all of our components that we defined in the other one are now here and looking crazy. And they're not usually in any particular order. Kono PCB looking great. Forget this lamp. This is the new one, the staircase. But you can see here we have like our switches. We got our space bar. This is our mega chip. So this is the controller. Our USB port. And then we got all of like our diodes and capacitors and ESD protection. So at this point, what we gotta do is organize all this crap and move things around. But all of these lines you're seeing here is what's showing us what's connected to what. So, and it'll kind of change for some of them, especially the ground ones will kind of like move around because we'll deal with that at the end. But yeah, this is what we created today in like 2 hours. Impressive, I know. So I'm thinking this is a good spot to end stream for tonight before I lose my mind. But what we're gonna do next time is organize our switches and lay them out in a way that's actually like how the PCB will be laid out. And we can probably start on our traces and connecting everything together. So I'll work on finishing up the schematic and getting everything there that I need. But I hope this was informational, or at least slightly entertaining for you to watch. But I figured this is like a good project we can work on together. And if anybody has any questions or ideas, because we got a lot of flexibility still. We can put lots of oh, that's right, KiCad 6 is out. Yeah, I haven't updated my crap yet. I'm at like 5.99 or whatever, the unstable one. We're living on the edge. Has some nice features. 14 USB for. Yeah, this one has the curved traces. I haven't really used it too much, but it's pretty cool to like fill it or whatever. Alright, let's see who is streaming. There we go. Danny is still streaming. Oh, I think did she finish soldering? She might be done. Do we want baby stream? What do we want? Keyboards? See who is on. What is baby stream? So I call myself a baby stream because I feel like my stream is pretty small and I enjoy it that way, so I call it the baby stream. But yeah, basically like smaller streamers. Yeah, not like actual babies. It's funny because someone my Discord server hit like the 3rd level of boost, and so you can create like a vanity URL. And someone was like, I want it to be baby server, so that's what it is. And I was like, won't that be kind of confusing for people? Like, what if they're like thinking it's like baby or toddler tips, you know, and they try to join my Discord and they just see a bunch of like keyboards and cat pictures? I don't know. But yeah, we got lightning, Halloween boards. We're showing them the light, right? We're indoctrinating them with keyboards. I don't know this person. Are they in English? Cats and keeps. Heck yeah. That's the way. That's the way. Alright, well, let's read this person. I've never watched their stream before. Their name is Georin. Let's read them. Maybe they're new. We like baby streams. They're fun. Alright. I think that's it. Alright, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. I appreciate it. I'll be back on Monday, and we'll probably continue our keyboard stuff unless I have something else to build. I'm not too sure. But I hope you have a good night. Have a good weekend. I will talk to you later. Also, if you need any help, feel free to join my Discord. Discord.gg/babyserver. Alright, everybody. Bye-bye.
It's blue MDPCX under white. Keeb noob. Welcome. Thank you so much for the follow.